line, Jerry, Kevin, have you seen the young guys really, not particularly your position, but all the inside linebackers, everybody really learning and adapting to the system, and they're going to have to help you in these first games?
Yeah, I mean, you sign them all to come play, and whether they show up day one and start or it's game 10, you can't really tell. All the young guys that have come in, I mean, they're like everyone else. You have to mold the player into what you want them to be, and they're at a different pace at each one of them. You'll have flashes of a guy, a play or two, and then 2 plays later he may be so bad off that you're having to coach him up. But that's the beauty about it. You're going out there competing every day against the offense versus the defense. So some guys are going to have good practices one day, and the next day might not be so good. But usually when we start trimming it down and getting kind of refined into our game plan, that's when those guys start kind of all the fog sort of clears for them, and they get a better understanding of what's expected of them.
Looking outside your position group, is there one of these young guys who has caught your eye?
All of them have, really. I mean, all of them got a lot of talent. There's not one guy in particular that I could just single out. On the offense side, defense side, there's a lot of guys, and again, some days they have, good practice, good play. The next day, they maybe, you may not even notice that they're out there. But the one thing I can say that they're all doing, they're working hard, they're trying to get better. They're trying to show up for that first game and, get out there and make some plays. And, you never really know until you get a few games into it with injuries and how those things will factor out.
Have you put extra emphasis on run stopping at your position with some of the other guys you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's always an emphasis for us, probably a little more is the development of those players because, you're going to face some teams that are going to try to run the ball down your throat. You've got some teams that are going to try to spread you out. So in my position, those guys have got to be able to go in there and be like a defensive lineman. Then they've got to walk out and be like an outside backer, in the on a receiver or whatever. So we have to kind of be multiple in what we do. But first, if you can't stop the run, then you don't get to go out there and rush the quarterback and do the things that they like to do. So it's always an emphasis in our defenses to stop the run because we get to see a lot of the way our offense is able to run the ball.
Coach, you talked about, how you guys have to kind of walk up the line of scrimmage, be defensive linemen, and kind of play that role at times. You were talking with Lorenzo last week, and he was talking about how the communication between the defensive linemen and linebackers is so crucial in this defense. How do you feel like with losing some guys there, having to play some young guys there on the defensive line, how do you feel like that communication is going right now? Do you feel like you're on the same page?
It's like learning a new language. You're going to go in and some words are going to be easy to learn. Some are going to be foreign to you. It's going to take you time. And the biggest part is the linebackers do have to communicate out what to do because it helps those guys understand, what's going on, where they align and all that. And our coaches teach really good. I mean, most of us taught, coached high school football, so we've been in a classroom setting where you touch the kids at the top, the bottom of the class, and in the middle. So, it makes you be creative as a coach to be able to reach each person. Each person learns differently. So, a lot of it's outside factors too. School starts, that changes, a little more stress and factors to throw in. But, it's the second year in the system, and our inside backers are understanding what to do and how to say it before we really have to yell out there to them and tell them, hey, set at the front here, do this, do that. They kind of have a good understanding of that, and they can kind of teach each other. And the players did a good job this summer of doing that too.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah.